Kashmir has been killed again. It is a sad day for dozens of the innocent tourists who had gone to Kashmir to enjoy the beauty, the serene and ruins of Kashmir. They have been put to death. It is a sad day for the spouses, for the parents, for the sons and daughters of the individuals who have been killed in the dastardly attacks in Kashmir. It is a sad day for Kashmir. It has been killed again, and Kashmir has seen itself being killed again, and again, over and again. People have been killed, civilians have been killed there. The security forces have been killed, and the jihadis who sought death, they too have been killed. But there is a great difference between one killing and another. At the last count, more than 100,000 people had been counted dead in Kashmir, and they comprised almost equally, almost 40 to 45,000 each of the civilians, of the security forces, and of the jihadis. But there is a difference between one killing and another. A person who seeks to attack and seeks to enforce his will, his writ, upon others, seeks to create mayhem. His death is not the same as the death of a person who goes out to defend the people, defend the country, defend the nation against those. Generally, they call them militants. That is almost a neutral word, but the fact is that they are all jihadis. They are out to enforce a particular viewpoint. And then there are the civilians, the bystanders, who get caught in the firing, and they too have been killed. As the statistics tell us, the numbers of the three categories are almost same. So, in a way, the jihadis can take comfort in the figure that they have killed twice the number. But is this thing to help anybody? Pahalgam now will count alongside Sangrampura, alongside Vandahama, alongside Chitti Singhpura, alongside Nadi Marg, and scores of massacres that have occurred during the last 35 years in Kashmir. Just 2 years back, before this mayhem in Kashmir broke out, I remember a person had been killed, that is in 1987. A person had been killed about 3 or 4 miles away from our village, and the body had been left in a ravine. It happened in January when the winter was at its height. 3 months later, I was going on some work, passing through that ravine along with some 4 or 5 people. The snow, body had lain on snow, and that snow had melted away. I think it was May. And all the people, when we reached that ravine, we fell silent. We felt horrified at the mere recollection of a dead body having lain there, of a person having been killed somewhere near there. And today we have more than 100,000 people killed in Kashmir. So where has Kashmir reached? Where has Kashmir landed in these 35 years? In these 35 years, one whole community of Kashmir, the aborigines of Kashmir, have been displaced. They have been rendered homeless by these very activities. People today may not remember, but during the months of 1990, radio, TV, the newspapers used to report 20 to 30 or more killings every day. That is at least, that is hundreds of massacres taking place every day. And those massacres too were very pointed. They were directed at Hindus. Kashmiri Pandits were targeted, and some people who were supposed to be informers, rather they were labeled what they say, give a dog a bad name. They were called informers and they were killed. And there were others, number of people of the ruling party, erstwhile ruling party, National Conference, who too were killed. As it is, the terrorist, the killer, sees nothing but the objective. But the killer is not an isolated thing. The killer may live in the meadows of Pahalgam away from civilization, but there is this disconcerting fact that the majority people, the people who inhabit those areas, are rarely unaware of that presence. The whole nation in 1994-95 was aghast when half a dozen foreigners were kidnapped and they were kept in another part of the same Pahalgam in a government agricultural farm. It's hard to believe that people would not have been aware of them. And it is equally easy to believe that there are a large number of people, the people who took to streets yesterday with candles, who were genuinely moved by the massacre. But is that enough? As it is in all the dastardly situations, wherever they happen, the majority community has to take the responsibility, and that community is the first line of remedy. Why are terrorists tolerated silently? Why are they supported, whether in error, whether in a mistake, or whether under deception, whatever? Why are they supported? And then there is the greater disconcerting fact that the terrorists get their fodder, get their members from amongst the people. Whether they mislead them, whether they brainwash them, whether they lead them astray. But the fact remains that they come from those Mass of people, a good chunk of whom is aghast at the massacres. And that chunk must know that these dastardly people, they are riding on their shoulders and kicking them in the process. Unless the majority people stand up, unless they tell them in no uncertain terms that this is not done, that we will not tolerate these things, there is no. The analysts too, those who try to analyze these facts, they probably have to go back to their drawing boards. While this dastardly murder deserves to be condemned by all and everyone, there is the fact that in each act of this massacre, in each dastardly act, it is Kashmir which is being killed. It is the sensitivity of Kashmir which is being killed. It is the certain atmosphere for which Kashmir was famous that's being killed. And it is the people of Kashmir who are being killed. That is something which every Kashmiri, worth his and her salt, must realize. They must realize that the narratives put out to explain away the exile of a whole aboriginal community of Kashmir are not correct. We can be pretty sure that in the days to come, the WhatsApp, the grapevines, and other channels of public contact will be used to explain away this massacre. It has been already accepted by one Tahrik that they did it. But then those acknowledgements, those acceptances, they have always been there, and yet they have been explained away. Maybe in the coming days, tomorrow itself, you will find a delusion of narratives to pin this attack on security forces themselves. It happened with many massacres that took place, and it led to people forgetting the massacres. If the grief felt by many of the people down there is genuine, it must be accompanied by actions that tell that there will be no tolerance for these activities. And there is a need for all others who are concerned in Kashmir, all others who have the duty of bringing peace to Kashmir, all others who may benefit or suffer because of the events in Kashmir. They have to put the act straight. They are to understand that whatever is happening there is a multifaceted thing. There are no binaries there. It is not black and white. This man is responsible, this woman is not responsible. It cannot happen like that. We have got today the unfortunate situation where perception is taken to be the truth. At its best, perception can be somewhere near the truth. It is not the truth, yet the truth is out there all the time. The reasons that the nation has been told were responsible for the terrorism or jihadism out there, probably those reasons are not correct. The political, economic, constitutional, operational, executive reasons, whatever were trotted out, we have seen over a long period of time that they have not helped stop the massacres. They have not helped to bring in peace. Way back in 2000, when Advanji said that Kashmir was normalcy had returned to Kashmir, we vehemently opposed him. Today also, for some time, people have been saying that Kashmir has been cured. Probably it is not correct to say that we need a cure. The correct thing would be that we need an address, an all-encompassing, a multifarious address. Probably that address would not bring in dividends for the people implementing it. It may not help some people to prove the things they have been saying, and it will not help the people out there, the large mass of people, to take actions which can lastingly put a stop to these dastardly acts, to the massacres, to the killing of Kashmir. And in the very first place, that action lies with the powers that be. They have to go back to their drawing boards and again try to understand the situation in Kashmir. And that responsibility has to be taken up by the majority community to make it very clear that they will not tolerate the killing of Kashmir, the numbing of the sensitivities of Kashmir, throwing Kashmir to the winds of devastation, destruction, and an unsavory future. While police and the security forces, they have a role, let it be very clear that this is not the solution. Probably a composite view has to be taken, a composite address has to be made, and all people have to gather together to prevent this. We must work so that we do not have to put in another condemnation, make another WhatsApp outrage, or seek revenge. Revenge has not helped anybody. But understanding has helped. Realization is what is needed. And that realization has to be there on all sides. Only then can we hope that Kashmir will not be killed again. Thank you.